these types of situations are just like, oh, I don't know, a plane crash you can't look away from. Speaking of our next subject,
right here, I'm gonna talk about them immediately. That was the fastest segment. I think that's why it was like 5 seconds.
Girl, speaking of accidents you just can't turn away from, there has been another plane crash, and this time on Delta Airlines. So
that's
this was
them your people, girl.
And my people, child. So the plane, it landed in Toronto, but it ended up flipping over and bursted into flames, child. Now, only 18 people were injured, and 3 of them were severely injured. One of them was a child, but everyone was safely evacuated from the wreckage. And I feel like, you know, like we had our conversation about why this might be happening or why they keep showing this to us. You know, Donald Trump done fired hundreds of people from the Federal Aviation Administration, and I don't think it's a coincidence that all of this stuff is happening. But where do you think we should place the blame? Obviously, we're going to put it on him.
Because he would do the same to us. If he ever was in a difficult situation, he would blame us. So, of course, I'm going to put the blame on him.
Well, he did. He did blame us. Remember when the crashes first started happening? He said it was DEI era. He was telling people, "Well, we're gonna fire these people because they had no business being in this position in the first place." And I'm thinking, what I don't understand about this whole notion of DEI hires and stuff like that is, why do you think people are putting Black people and people of color in positions that they're not qualified for? We've always had to work twice as hard to get half of what most white people get.
Sickening. It's sickening. And that's exactly how he handled the fires in LA. You know what I'm saying? In California. He came there. He said, well, the problem is everyone's not registered to vote. So when you guys decide to register to vote, then I'll help you, because this is why this happened, because you didn't vote for me. So I put the blame on him, because we're always blamed for everything that goes wrong when it's his fault. So it's him. Everybody put the blame on him for sure.
And I'm so frustrated with this administration because he communicates like an elementary school child. Like, you remember when people used to run for class president, and they used to say stuff like, I'm going to abolish homework, and we're going to get 2 hours for a break, and we're going to get McDonald's for lunch every day.
Not even abolish. Girl, he just say, I'm going to get rid of. I'm not going to do that no more. It's not good. Homework is not good. It's very bad.
Right.
That's what he says.
It's bigly become a problem. Right. So we got to do away with it.
Girl.
And so I think that's how I see him. That's how I see him. I see him just like promising things that he can't deliver as a means to win a popularity contest. Like, girl, it's crazy.
It's so crazy, because he be the person that put all this stuff in motion and then try to be a savior and act like he was the person who put it in motion and be like, we're going to fix this. We're going to get to the bottom of this. We're going to make it. We're going to save TikTok. He's a liar. And it's sad that y'all didn't look at this man's businesses and see how many times he filed bankruptcy, the taxes he don't pay, and how he hired contractors to build these buildings and don't pay them. He doesn't, a liar. Y'all put a liar in office. I don't know if he get fired. I feel like,
girl, no. Well, you done said it already, but I feel like, if the man can't run a business with thousands of employees, how is he going to run a country with millions of citizens?
Thank you.
And I think it really is just a common sense issue. Like, people who have common sense could look at this situation and say, this man is not going to be a good leader for this country. He wasn't a good leader the last time.
He can't even lead himself.
Now it's 1,000 times worse. He can't pick the right spray tan for his skin tone.
A Lorex.
This man has a string of poor decision making under his belt. And so for anybody to think that he was going to be a good leader is absolutely crazy. So I'm having trouble understanding why people are now sad and crying and trying to figure out, and then harassing the hell out of Kamala Harris.
I know.
We need you to stand up and unify she tried.
That's
okay.
Crazy.
And this is what they do to Black women. They tell us we're unnecessary. They don't need us. We're not important. Our contributions aren't important, and we don't matter. And then as soon as something needs fixing, ask Shaniqua, Quantessa, no.
First person you lean on. The first, and it ain't even Black men. It's like the first person.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm like, because you know why? I hate to do it, but it takes me back to slavery days when they purposely ripped apart the Black family and made Black women breastfeed and care for and cook for and clean up behind white babies. They want Kamala Harris to be a mammy to the United States.
That is so crazy. That is so
I
crazy.
won't have it.
I won't vote for you, but I want you to clean it up. So I'll spill the milk, but you need to get in here and clean it up, because that's all I heard you say. And that's absolutely
when we could have had a president who not only allowed for the milk to stop spilling, but could have lowered the price of the milk.
Hello? And add them eggs while you at it. While you out there with that cattle. Check on them chickens.
All I'm saying is we had somebody who was positioned properly to do the job. They didn't want her to do the job. So I don't know why you now harassing her to try to make her step up. Hillary Clinton is somewhere in her pantsuit looking for stuff to do.
Hello? And Michelle, don't even look at Michelle. Don't look Michelle away. Because Michelle don't want nothing to do with this circus ring. And she let that be known when she didn't show up. Okay? She said, I'm going to show you exactly where I stand. I love somebody who stand up. I just love
Me
it.
too.
Speaking of stand up, I'm so proud of Issa Rae. Did you hear that she had?
Yes.
I got to get
canceling that event. Yes, I love that she did that. And I think a lot of people need to do that. But unfortunately, like, it goes back to money. This is what I've been saying. A lot of people can't afford to make that kind of stance. So her having her own production company, producing all these TV shows and stuff like that, like, she got enough bread to make, like, I love when people who have money and power and influence can do stuff like this, because the rest of y'all people with money need to follow suit. A lot of Black people get so wealthy and their proximity to white privilege disconnects them immediately from the community. We still need help over here. Y'all got so much money. Y'all taking trips and going on yachts and all this stuff and having all these parties and all of this. And it's great. It looks good on Instagram. But people back home are still suffering.
Thank you. And it's like, people are so selfish. They be like, well, that don't have nothing to do with me. I'm making da-da-da-da-da. And I'm not trying to put God into it, but I am. Okay? But I am going to put him in it. Because the thing about your gifts and your abilities is to give it to other people. It's not just yours to keep. It's not your gift for you to hold.
It's a gift.
Thank you. It's a gift. It's a gift. You're supposed to give it. You know what I'm saying? Right. So, like, I think people forget that you got blessed. God bless you with all this money, with all this influence, with all this everything. You're able to take these trips and do these things, but you only spend it on yourself and your direct, like, community. You don't care nothing about anybody else because you feel like, well, this mine. I ain't got to do da-da-da-da. And just as fast as he gave it to you, he will take it away. You better pay attention to Diddy. You better pay attention to R. Kelly. And you better pay attention to Bill Cosby. Because the minute, the second, the hour, Snoop Dogg, Nelly, and Rick Ross, Soulja Boy, all of y'all, while y'all on this high pedestal and y'all talking bitch, okay, bitch, in a second, in a blink of an eye, it can all be taken away. I'm not wishing nothing on nobody. I'm just saying, don't ever get too comfortable and think that you can't be touched. Like, that's it.
Yeah, I think it's people just, people lack integrity. I think people like Issa Rae stand for something, she has integrity. And she's like, I'm not going to willingly put money in the pockets of people who support this man or who would allow him to come here and do anything. And I think that, like, everybody need to do that. Like, you know who else I'm proud of? Yeah, Costco. I don't even shop at Costco. I thought about getting a membership. I said, baby, I don't need enough groceries for the stuff that y'all sell, but I can go in there. I can do something,
But I will go to that hot food bar and I will tear right on that.
If I got about 6 months worth of dog food for Toto, I will do it to support y'all.